My name's Thomas, and I'm a psychiatrist in the Foreign Service. I'm one of the regional medical officers. They're rare jobs for psychiatrists overseas. The language and the licensing issues make it very hard to practice psychiatry overseas, so this is one of the rare times or rare jobs that you can do that. I'm called to bring up skills that I just never would have thought I would need, and you've got to think right in the moment and come up with solutions, and the situations aren't generally stuff that sometimes psychiatrists aren't trained to do, but we're just asked to help out, and so I find it pretty exciting. I'd say probably the most challenging thing I had was I was based in Nairobi, Kenya, and you cover a region there, and about 2 years back there was the shopping mall, the Westgate Mall attack, and you know, one is I'm just on some level a citizen on a weekend in the city, and I'm hearing these rumors about what might be happening and that you can't get near the, and this is also so close to the embassy and so close to my home. So over that 4 days, you're listening to the gunshots and you're watching the smoke billow out of the building, and I felt like I was for a moment, I was like a critical player in the embassy. I was needed. It was clear. I worked very closely with the ambassador and the DCM in helping, because people got freaked out, understandably. So although it was a horrible event, I have to say it was one of the most kind of challenging moments in my career. I felt very useful. Things kicked in that I didn't know I could do or I knew to do, and in general I think the big effect was we were helpful to people. People felt cared for. It was busy, and I also got extra help, which made a big difference. So it wasn't just me, it was a team of people, and it was a rewarding experience, as horrific as it was. You know, the one thing I do enjoy about this job is you see the full spectrum of anything related to mental health. So you can see your bread and butter psychiatry of depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, panic attacks, PTSD. You also see a lot of people who don't have psychiatric illnesses but just come to you for help, and they just want to figure out, how do I do this better? How do I live overseas in a way that's going to be easier for me and my family? How do I deal with stress? How do I deal with a boss that I just don't get along with? And then you deal with some really extreme cases. You deal with people who just lose control, who either due to substance use have lost control, due to stress, or due to just very, very dangerous situations find themselves not coping well. And so you see a huge spectrum, and it's almost like you need to do everything. You need to be prepared for any kind of patient in the spectrum, from doing very well and well adjusted to just really not well at all and needs a lot of support. You have to be ready for any of those kind of patients.